Hey everyone, before we get into this episode of The Overlook, I want to tell you about a brand new podcast that's all about Asheville, only each episode is under 5 minutes long. It's a daily radio-styled newscast called Wake Up Asheville. It's a morning podcast updating you on all the important local headlines. We check in with every credible local news source, then boil it all down to what you need to know in under 5 minutes. It's designed to tell you what you need to know and let you get on with your day. There's even a Spanish language version called Despierta Asheville. Wake Up Asheville and Despierta Asheville are both free and available every weekday morning wherever you get your podcasts.
You always make me smile, stay here for a little while. You always make me laugh, can't capture that in photographs. Somebody says something, we're thinking of the same joke, and when you come around, it's my sadness already broke.
This is The Overlook with Matt Peiken, a podcast about the news, arts, issues, and trends of Asheville, North Carolina. I invited 2 all-female bands to the May 28th evening of Here Here at Citizen Vinyl. Here Here is a performance and podcast series designed to elevate conversation around local rock and indie music. The bands Detective Blind and Ovadia come from different generations. Detective Blind are 3 sisters, the oldest of them is only 17, while most of the members of Ovadia are in their 50s and 60s. Still, the bands made fast friends with each other at soundcheck, and the good energy between them continued all the way past the evening's final note. Today's episode is all about Detective Blind. If you missed the episode with Ovadia, just dial back a couple of weeks in your podcasting app to find it. So here now is the performance and my conversation with the 3 sisters of the Asheville band Detective Blind. I was at a show in Mars Hill, and I wasn't even planning to go to a show. I was at Mars Landing Galleries. And if you have not been to Mars Landing Galleries in Mars Hill, you need to go. It's a fantastic contemporary art space in Mars Hill. We were there for First Fridays. And then afterward, we were hearing music up on the hill. Said, oh man, there's a rock band over at that theater. Let's go see it. And we walked in there, and these 3 fantastic girls were playing music, and I was transfixed. So I picked up their card that night, messaged the band. They got back to me right away. I said I was hoping they would be part of the series. They said yes, and I was thrilled. So before we get any further into their story, please welcome Detective Blind.
Again, we're Detective Blind. The first song we're going to be playing for you is called Reverie, a summer song we wrote about a year ago. The 3 of us are sisters, and we are thrilled to be here on the podcast with you tonight. We hope you enjoy the songs here. Thinking about you. It's not easy to be somewhere else. I know it's over, but no one's made me feel how you felt. Daydreaming's quicker than books, and don't have to picture how it looks. 'Cause when the whole world's tumbling down, reverie, and we laugh for 3 days, and we watch the sun. Something, and that small thing reminds me of you, and all this pressure, and you're not here to help see it through. Daydreaming's quicker than books. Oh yeah, don't have to picture how it looks. 'Cause when the whole world's tumbling down, to the point on your beach, and I la 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 happens quicker than books. Don't have to picture how it looks, 'cause when the whole world's tumbling down, 1, 2, 3, reverie.
This next one is Miss Me. This one is released on Spotify, as my sister Anderson said. We've moved around a bunch, and the question we've always asked ourselves is, do people really care that we're gone, or are they actually psyched that we left? So we kind of took the concept to people that people don't really realize what they have until it's gone, and put it into this one, Miss Me.
Yeah, it's also like, the saying, out of sight, out of mind. Like, once you don't see them anymore, you don't think of them or anything, and slowly people don't text back or don't call you, and you lose text and touch. So I think that's a really sad thing, and that's what the song's about. So, will you miss us?
Sounds a little bit upbeat, though. This one's Miss Me.
Trying to get your attention. We will be perfect, and it I even mention. I've been laughing extra at your jokes and other things, so you don't know, but somehow I can get you noticed. I've been passing little sticky notes and staring at the things you post when I'm not around here. Oh, you miss me. Don't you wish you and me could go together? It's easy. Just believe we'd be so sweet forever. What would happen if I went away? You'll be missing all the little things that I say. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You miss me, do you miss me? Maybe give me a chance, maybe even a little glance to show you see me there. Some indication that you actually care. 'Cause I've been helping you when people don't, and listening when there's others home, but somehow I can get you noticed. I've been seeing you sit by legs over away from you, it's stuck and throwing. I'm not around here. Oh, you miss me. Don't you wish you and me could go together? It's easy. Just believe we'd be so sweet forever. What would happen if I went away? You'll be missing all the little things that I say. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You miss me, do you miss me? La-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. La-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. La-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. La-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Open your eyes, not trying to despise the others around you. Open your eyes, saw yourself last, but we both know there's nothing I wanna do. Open your eyes, not trying to despise the others around you. Open your eyes, saw yourself last, but we both know there's nothing I wanna do. You miss me. Don't you wish you and me could go together? It's easy. Just believe we'd be so sweet forever. What would happen if I went away? You'll be missing all the little things that I say. La-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You miss me, do you miss me? La-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You miss me, do you miss me? La-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You miss me, do you miss me? Thank you so much. That last one was Miss Me. And this last one we're going to play before the interview is Heart Level Zero. This one's kind of similar about losing people, but kind of in a different way. You know, you always have that friend that you really think is going to care for you, support you, but really
if you find out that they kind of stabbed you in the back, you know they're fair weathered and they just want you for when they can. So this one's Heart Level 0. And you might be like, you know, lots of your songs are about friends and relationships. Well, I do gotta tell you, to everyone in the audience, you know, we are just, I mean, I'm 17, she's 14, and my youngest sister's here is 12, so we can't really sing about, like, thank you. We can't really sing about, like, marriage and then, like, getting into a divorce and then, like, all of that stuff. So at least for a few more years, we sing about what we can, you know, friends, good and bad, and then, yeah, pretty much just things that have been moving a lot. That's probably one of the saddest things and happiest things that we've done, as you'll probably hear in the interview. This one's Heart Level 0.
Consider the perfect pair, not whimsy, not a care. Teenage best friends, true love back then. Childhood days were sublime, shared truths, great times. But torn from all that, across the lines we chat. You said you love me then, in the mart, in the gutter. And you said you were my friend, so you went out with another. Heart Level 0. My beliefs didn't sink with you, combat between us two. What we had was torn apart, fair weather friend from the start. The silence on your end, on you can't depend. So crushed, bruised head, on your love I fed. You said you want me then, in the mart, in the gutter. And you said you were my friend, so you went out with another. Heart Level 0. Hey, you said you want me then, you threw my heart in the gutter. And you said you were my friend, so you went out with another. You said you want me then, you threw my heart in the gutter. And you said you were my friend, so you went out with another. Heart Level 0.
Thank you.
Detective Blind, Montgomery on guitar and vocals, Anderson on drums, Kit or Kittredge on bass. And you've already interviewed yourselves, basically. You've already you've given me a lot to go on. One of the things you said is that you've moved around a lot. I know you live in Asheville now. Give me a sense of your path as a band geographically, or as a family. Your mom and dad are here in the crowd. Give me a sense of your path geographically, where you were before you got to Asheville.
For sure. Are you sure you'll be able to like keep along? I'm just joking. So we're actually born in Greenwich, Connecticut, around that area. We've been to New York, Pennsylvania, New Hampshire. We've been to Switzerland and London overseas, and now we call Asheville, North Carolina home. But just saying it in one word, each of those places, they really do have their own special story to them. So each of them have lots of memories to unpack.
And you lived in all those places.
Oh yeah.
Why? What was bringing you? The circus? I mean, what were you doing in all those cities?
Can't you tell the circus was bringing us that? No, it was kind of lots of experiences. You know, we've been to many different schools. We've had many different friends. What do you think, Kit? You're looking at me like that.
I didn't really have a choice. I was shoved at the back of the car, just looking out the really small window, so don't ask me.
Hey, at least you had a window. I was in the middle.
So where in this winding path did music enter your lives? More after this. When you go to an Asheville City Soccer Club game, you'll see some of the best emerging talent from all over North Carolina, but also you'll see players from around the world trying to better their games and work their way up the professional soccer circuit.
Having players from different countries, from different areas, it brings different kind of styles of play into the mix.
Brooke Bingham is the coach of the women's team.
Soccer is a very creative sport, so I want to encourage them to play in their style. The aspiration for the players comes from within themselves. They kind of dictate that, and we kind of help them and we push them into the direction they want to go.
Homegrown athletes like Laura Greb say playing with and against players with rich soccer traditions elevates her game.
You have players who grew up in Central or South America, and they're more poised on the ball sometimes. They great first touches, excellent vision.
To see soccer with international flair, dial into the Asheville City Soccer Club men's and women's teams. Home games are at Greenwood Field on the UNC Asheville campus. For details, visit AshevilleCitySC.com.
So I am the oldest one here, and as they say, the wisest.
Is that what they say?
I don't know. You'd have to ask them, probably alone without me in the room. They'd be too scared. I'm just joking with you. So I'd say I was the first one to pick up a musical instrument. I started on guitar in like 3rd grade, and I actually dropped it. I started playing the upright bass. Of course, at that point, I know I'm a little bit taller now, but I was the smallest one in my class, under 4 feet something, and I decided to choose the biggest instrument, the upright bass, to play in the orchestra, which was, that's how I got my gains, as you can see today, and what I have on this strong build. But no, that's where I started to get my love for bass, and then I played bass guitar, and at that point, I was doing a little bit of acting. I was on bass for a little while, and then...
When did you pick up the 6th string? How did you convert
the 6th string, I brought it back. After I've done... a little bit of acting and on the bass, I chose to go back to the guitar, and this is when kind of, COVID hit. I'm not sure if y'all know about what that is. And so then at that point, each of my sisters, we were all playing different instruments. Kit was kind of playing around on the guitar a little bit of bass, Anderson drums. It was all kind of a mix. And then we were all playing separately, and one day we were like, what if we bring it together? It was kind of their little fight to be who was on drums and bass, but after that got settled out, I kind of taught them what they know today.
So it's interesting, though, that you all just independently, Kit and Anderson, you picked up instruments that would complement the guitar. It wasn't as if you were all playing guitar. When did you start talking about being a band, and then did it just come, let's just play our instruments and just see what we sound like together, or was there more of a conversation about what kind of band you wanted to try to be?
Well, we were really just younger, so it was really just a thought, and we were like, what if we just put it together? It wasn't like a huge conversation or anything until we played together, and we were like, let's keep doing this. And that's the point where we started adding covers and more covers to our band until eventually we started making our own music.
And you play a lot of classic rock covers. I mean, it's not necessarily current bands. I think that's unusual. Tell me if I'm wrong in this, but a lot of your peers your age are not listening necessarily to the kind of music you're playing. You're playing music that harkens to an era past. Talk about what were the groups you were listening to that kind of laid the foundation for the covers that you were playing, and then after that, the originals you're writing. What kind of bands were you listening to?
Yeah, I mean, I will say we totally get to choose whatever covers we want. Playing in a live venue, we love playing things that we love because that brings its own energy, but we also love to play things that the audience likes to hear, of course. So there's always classic rock That's why it's called classic rock. They're classics. We cover a bunch of those. We have a lot of 90s songs, especially in the new set that we put together for this summer. And then we're starting to do a few covers from like 2010s. You know, we just covered like a Katy Perry song for fun. But we just like to have a large variety. And then, of course, our originals. So it's just kind of having a good spectrum.
But I was wondering, before you even started playing as a band, I would imagine you were listening to some of this classic rock. And so how and why? I wouldn't think that teenagers or preteens, as the case may be, would be listening to like Creedence Clearwater or Heart or other bands like that. Were your mom and dad introducing you to these bands, or were you finding them on your own?
Go for it, Kit.
Well, mostly my oldest sister, as you know, Monty, she has really put most of my music taste, like, she's put it into my brain. I haven't really ever gotten a choice as the youngest, but...
So you're saying you're being held prisoner in this band? Is that
kind of, yes. But we always make a joke that the music skipped a generation. Our parents are not musical at all.
Ooh.
They're not. That's interesting. So Montgomery, again, why were you listening when others your age are listening to Katy Perry and, you know, the other artists that are more teen pop artists? Mm-hmm. What was it about the classic rock bands that drew you? What did you like about that? As a listener, not as another musician, but what drew you as just a fan of that music?
Mm-hmm. Now, since you put it in those words, I have to say every genre really has its own specialties to it. And I think the thing about classic rock and my favorite genre, which is like 80s and 90s, more alternative grunge rock, is that every instrument there is important. And a lot of groups are just bass, drums, and guitar. So it's kind of perfect for what we're trying to play. And I love, any type of music. I'm a little iffy on some country pop songs, I'm going to be a little honest. But other than that, I feel like every genre, it always has a place, it always has a time. But it's just something different. 3 instruments are just so strong, and I wanted to kind of take that and make the 3 of us feel like strong on stage without having like 14 sisters, because that would be too much drama for sure.
Well, so you're building a bridge from when you started listening to this music to then playing this music. Mm-hmm. So when you talk about writing your songs, and you alluded to this when you were playing and introducing your music, about the kinds of topics you're interested in writing in. And thank you for telling us you're not writing about marriage and divorce yet. That will come in the later years, you're saying, the divorce songs.
Yeah, I'm already sensing like a little E minor in there, like hit him with the...
You should try D minor. It's the saddest of all keys.
Ooh, I'll definitely put it in there.
So talk about, as you're writing songs, what is framing these songs? Are you writing lyrics first and then putting the music to it, or are you just coming up with rhythms and riffs and then you come back to your notepad and write lyrics around that?
I mean, okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
It really depends. Sometimes someone will have like a specific phrase, like for example, Heart Level 0, the one you heard, my heart is in the gutter, like you threw my heart in the gutter. That actually came when I was just throwing a bag of chocolate up and down in the air, and it accidentally fell in the gutter. And so it turned from chocolate in the gutter to you threw my heart in the gutter. So sometimes it'll be a little phrase like that, or it'll be like, maybe my oldest sister will have like a little riff, and then she'll share it with us and we'll build on it. Or maybe I'll have a drum beat, or someone will have a melody. So it just builds up from a little thing sometimes.
But don't think our songs are all about chocolate. It was actually very emotional. The chocolate stayed there for like weeks and weeks, and it actually melted. So it was pretty emotional there.
You talked about at least 2 of the songs in your opening set were about people, fragile relationships, friends that may not stick around, that are flighty. Talk about those experiences and what did putting them to music do for you in terms of processing these experiences that you had, moving around, losing friends? Was writing these songs around them cathartic? Did it help you get over this? Or was it just a way to kind of put to voice things you've been thinking and feeling for a long time?
Ooh. I'd have to say it's kind of just a way of expressing it. Music's a way of expression, It's a very, it's close to the musician, and then for all the people who will listen, they're able to find a connection if that story resonates with them. And like Anderson was saying, we have a bunch of being together as sisters. It's a blessing and it's a curse. There's a lot of good things about it. You want a band practice at 1 a.m. in the morning, they are there. They are there. We're in the car. We've done, during the year of COVID and the year afterwards, we were in the back of a van for hours and hours just visiting places that were completely empty. I remember we were going through Montgomery, Alabama, because that was my name, and there was not a single soul in that entire town. I thought we were in the Twilight Zone, which is actually a cover that we do, and we were just walking around, and there was like no one around us. Are we really in the right place? And you walk through like the Matrix or something. But no, we were always together writing songs, and it was kind of a way of not only passing the time, but making a stronger connection with music and each other. That was kind of cringy. Sorry, guys.
Talk about becoming serious as a band. It's one thing to pick up your instruments and decide, hey, we're all playing different complementary interests. Let's just jam together. When did it become something serious? Like, hey, we've got something here. We really want to build on this. How long ago was that?
Kit, you want to cover that?
Probably like 2 to 3 years ago.
That long ago. So you were what, 9?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Uh-huh. So this might be a trite question, but does school matter to you? I mean, you've been serious as a band, and you spend all your time together as sisters, writing music and playing this music. Mm-hmm. Tell me where school fits in for you, or are you just thinking, like, we just want to get through school and then just focus on this band?
Oh, well, it's difficult with the age ranges because even though it might seem that we're all really close together, 2 years in terms of education, a lot of people know that there's a huge step up from 8th grade to 9th grade. So 2 years in the education process is it's a big thing. I mean, I just graduated high school, and I also graduated with the first 2 years of my associate's degree.
Wow.
And then this little girl, she's going to be going into, 8th grade? Look at her, my little sister.
Kit's going into 8th grade.
Oh, yeah.
So do you have plans do you want to go to Montgomery? Do you want to go to college, or are you just waiting for your sisters to catch up and graduate high school so you can then focus on your music together that way, or what are your thoughts?
That's a kitchen table conversation every single night.
What do your parents think about this? I mean, I don't want to put them on stage to answer this, but what do they tell you about their support for your music and your futures around this?
We are super lucky to have extremely supportive parents, the best roadies I can ask for, the best stage hands, bodyguards,
chauffeurs.
Sometimes the best chefs. Last night was a little bit...
Spotty.
Yeah, I'm going to say that. But no, it's just the strength. Being in a family band, a lot of people say it can be a conflict. And it got serious when we moved to Asheville. Not a lot of places have, it has the mountains, it has the music, and it has the art. That's what it is. Anderson's our artistic one, so she'd remember that last
you're
time.
kind of getting to a question I wanted to ask you. You haven't been in Asheville all that long, and I'm wondering what's changed or evolved about your music or your band, aside from you getting older. What has changed about your music since being in Asheville?
That's a tough one.
The audiences here are really different. I will say that we didn't get to do so many live gigs in the other places we've been. I remember we've done so many crazy gigs, from random farmers markets to playing at let me get this right, playing in a dive bar in Montana with a prairie dog themed, what was that? A prairie dog themed party going on in the background while we were playing Living on a Prayer. Yeah, that was an experience. We've done a bunch of different gigs, but Asheville, there's something different about the crowds. The breweries here, they're so friendly. They're not just like adults. There's kids. There's new families. There's older grandparents. Anyone in between. And it's just all the supportive crowds of all the different people that'll listen. That's what I said. We need a huge variety of music to cover everyone's listening ears. So it's just Asheville has all that.
Are you hoping to eventually ditch covers altogether, except for maybe one or two special ones, and really focusing on your originals?
Yes, that's actually our goal.
Yeah. So talk about the originals you're writing like today or recently, how are those different than the originals you were writing even just a year ago?
Go for it. Go for it.
You go.
That's a great question. I'm going to have Anderson answer that one for us.
You know, that's a really great question. I think Monty should answer. I'm kidding.
That's a really good question. So I think our fourth sister should answer that. No, I'm just joking. I'd say that the difference is, I mean, not only are we growing up, you know, height-wise, some of us, but I think that it's also growing. I mean, mentally, you know, we have more experiences here. Every year brings a new experience. We're writing not just about friends now. There's mountains, there's nature, and there's more chords available. We're learning more chords. We're learning new music. We're listening to bands like Ovadia, and they're playing all this experimental things that sparks new ideas, you know? It's not just like a few different bands that are playing the D chord, you know, and stuff like that. Like listening to all those jams y'all were playing, that's exactly how we get like all the inspiration.
Yeah, I was gonna say there are so many more types of music. Like Ovadia before us had a totally different type of music than maybe like a country band or even us. Everyone's like different, and I think Asheville is a place where you can really express your different style of music and all the messages through that.
Yeah, you said you are getting toward 100,000 plays for all your music on Spotify. Are you constantly recording new songs, new originals, or what's your plans around recording originals going forward?
Well, here's the thing. Right now, we do have a bunch of songs in the works, and even some that are recorded. And I guess I'll kind of introduce it now. But the last song we're going to play it's called Deep Waters, and it's a song that we've somewhat recorded, but actually haven't even released at all. So we wanted it to be kind of a present for you and
awesome.
and for the audience to kind of hear a song that's not fully even released yet. But we have lots of ideas. It's just kind of putting that all together. And I will say we have put a little bit of a break on it because school is important. We do have to do some algebra problems once in a while, and but it's also the live gigs. We do need to learn new covers. I mean, we just put a whole like new 3-hour set together, and that takes a good amount of time. So sometimes we do have to take the originals on the side for a little bit, but it's summertime. We just got off school. We're ready. We're going to be doing new music and hopefully learning how to even record some of it.
A question just occurred to me. It seems like the three of you all play a role in writing your songs and in the direction of the band. What do you think is the greatest challenge or difference among the three of you that causes both a tension point within the group, but also helps propel you forward in ways that each of you individually wouldn't be able to just script on your own? What's different about the three of each? Where are you each three different that feeds the band?
I mean, we're all sisters, so well, you know, we all listen to slightly different types of music, so maybe that's it. Maybe we all have a different kind of style, and then when we put it together, it can just form like these, I don't know, unique songs.
Yeah, I think I saw it once when we were like writing a song and we were trying to decide on like a rhyming pattern. Kit at the time was kind of like let's go for a 2 and 4. I was kind of like, oh, maybe we could like maybe not rhyme this at all. It's just a song that's just the flow. And then Anderson, who probably reads a bit more poetry, she's like, yeah, maybe we could do this to it. So everyone's voice kind of gets heard, and we're all just a slight bit different, but we can improve on it after they get a little. Then we can improve on it.
Well,
together.
Despite the different age groups, the different ages you each have, it seems like there's a real collaborative element to this band, that you all really work well together. I'm so excited to have you here, Detective Blind, and I'm looking forward to your future music right now on this stage and going forward. We have Montgomery, Anderson, and Kit. Detective Blind, let's hear the rest of their music. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much, Matt. And we want to say we do have another very special present for you that Kit is going to be given to you. We think that you would look extremely good and so handsome with this new shirt.
If I can exchange this large for a small, you've got to wear it all around town.
You got it.
All right.
And if anyone else happens to want to match Matt, because he's a trendsetter right now, then just see us after. We can grab you one of those. Thank you so much, Matt. Make sure to follow us and check us out at detectiveblind.com. The next song we're going to play is Break Session 17. You tell us a little bit about this one.
Me? Oh, well, we had a little bit of extra time in the studio. We all mashed this together, and yeah, that's about it.
Smile, stay here for a little while. You always make me laugh, can't capture that in photographs. Somebody says something, we're thinking of the same joke, and when you come around, it's my sentence already broke. If there is one last thing you always want to share, and when I want to go someplace, you always take me there. Ready for an adventure, don't need to find a treasure too, when we're together. There's something that we can get through. We need to find treasure too when we're together. There's nothing that we can get through. I like you, I like you. I like you, I like you. What would happen if what would happen if I didn't find you? It's clear that it is clear that it's clear I wouldn't know what to do. What would happen if what would happen if what would happen if I didn't find you? It's clear that it's clear that it's clear I wouldn't know what to do. I like you. Awesome. Thank you so much. This last one we're going to play for y'all tonight. This is Deep Waters. And as I said, this song is not released yet. This one we're going to play has kind of been recorded in some fashion, but it's really just the raw bones. This is going to be Deep Waters. And if you'd like to hear a little bit more or keep up to date with Spotify, the biggest thing you can do to help us is just follow us on Spotify at Detective Blind, or just go to detectiveblind.com and you can find anything. Shirts, Spotify, you name it. We even got Venmo on there. What?
Upcoming events?
Oh, upcoming events, upcoming shows and gigs. That's totally right if you'd like to catch us there.
About us, everything. Everything's there.
You got it. This one's Deep Waters. Ticket headed south. Warm waters beckon me. Above the sea, I couldn't breathe. Imagine skating down. 100 meters, no life found. Exploring on a company. Your shackles now relieved. I'm falling down, open mouth screaming without sound. I'm falling down, deep water losing too much ground.
to I'm still caving in. Rage better crumbling thin. There's no support within the sea. Secure strength to get to me. Body burns the pressure tight. Thrash enough to find a bite. Tentacles envelop me. You know I never found release. And I'm falling, falling down. Open mouth screaming without sound. And I'm falling, falling down. With what I losing too much ground.
Take a breath, now descending, no sport, no pretending. Skin dive alone, always sending in your speech, no extending.
Lines of wreck ships and vessels. Voodoo dolls, refuge, draw devil. It's an old day river fall runs high, where the bear like fish and skeleton toes lie. I'm falling, falling down, open mouth screaming without sound. Or falling, falling down, deep water losing too much ground. Tough as I fading out of sight, submerging into life. You taught me to survive.
Thanks so much for tuning into The Overlook with Matt Peiken and this episode from our Here Here series featuring Detective Blind.
You miss me. Don't you wish you and me could go together? It's easy. Just believe we'd be so sweet forever.